I didn't see just Anthony Edwards. I saw young Larry. I saw young Mike. I saw
Thank you.
young Kobe.
Thank
I
you.
saw him turning into those moments of
In the
greatness
moment. You
in
saw
the
it in slow
moment.
mo.
Going to the NBA playoffs, round one. It is over. We're in round two now. Round one was thrilling at times, let's say. There were two blowouts, which we won't really get into. Thunder, the Grizz 4-0, Celtics Magic 4-0, which we both predicted, Dixon. But going into
Magic won one game.
yes, my fault. Um,
Cleveland, Miami.
barrage of threes. First game is T Wolves and Lakers. T Wolves took them out in 4-1. To me, game one was a I mean, they hailed threes onto them. Game two was more of a Laker game. Game three was like, oh shit, this team is more physical. This team is playing faster. This team is shooting better, and they can switch 1 through 5. Game four was the pivotal game for this series. Okay, Lakers were winning the whole game by within 10 points. In that fourth quarter, everybody turned up. Not only that, but Dixon, I saw something in that game. Okay. I'm a big documentary guy. You know this. Everybody who knows me knows this.
Hmm.
I'm a fanatic when it comes to NFL and NBA history. Love it. I've recently watched the Celtics doc, Celtic City, which I highly recommend. My favorite documentary of all time. And it's a Celtics documentary. Okay.
Shame on
That's
you.
that's saying something.
I pushed record.
That hey, that moment, I didn't see just Anthony Edwards. I saw young Larry. I saw young Mike. I saw
Thank you.
young Kobe.
Thank
I
you.
saw him turning into those moments of
In the
greatness
moment. You
in
saw
the
it in slow
moment.
mo.
I didn't
You
see
saw it in
Anthony
slow mo
Edwards.
and you heard it with the piano dramatic music in the background.
I didn't just see Anthony Edwards. I saw Larry snarling at the other team. I saw young Mike looking at like fuck you. I saw that and it brought
Something
it
you
it
don't see
brought
anymore.
it brought a tear to my eye. It really not actually, but metaphorically, it brought a tear to my eye, and I knew they were gonna win that game because I saw that look, and it's the desire to be great, to carry a city, and to be elevating at a rapid pace. He was one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Was he last year? No. He's defensive. He's amazing.
He
He
was the
runs that
best 3-point
offense.
shooter last year. James, I'm gonna let you look. T
Yeah, this is
Wolves
your. I should let
deserve.
you go first, James. My
T
bad. My
Wolves
bad.
deserve. The first side of this, and then I'll give the Lakers side. But talk about your Timberwolves being, a Minnesota
Bro, like
guy.
this is probably one of the better teams that I've seen in my history besides the Kevin Garnett, Latrell Sprewell, Sam Castle days, right? Stephon Marbury is coming out late there, but Anthony Edwards, he immolates so much. Like I grew up watching MJ. I grew up watching Chicago Bulls games all the time because like it was always on TV on what WGN or whatever. And I liked Michael, but I actually liked the Bulls games better because I loved the announcer and his voice and the pregame. They shut the lights off. The Bull would run through the city, the music, and then the voice was and
Dun,
now
dun, dun, dun,
like
dun.
was the most iconic thing ever, and it just got me in the mood. But like watching MJ, but you watch Anthony Edwards, and you said he has so many mannerisms like MJ. His form, his turnaround, like his fadeaways are so MJ like.
Yo,
It's it's crazy.
you talk about someone that improved their
The
form
post
and
game he's developed too.
It's
That step
insane.
through, that pump fake step through.
side
He
not only stepped through but stepped to the left and glided.
Off the wrong foot.
Yeah, yeah.
he
So
he's
Backward.
special. he's special. I think he knows he's special. I think he gets a little bit carried away in his young mind in a sense where he gets a little bit lets the emotions kind of get sometimes a little bit too to him, and gets a little too cocky at times. But the T Wolves, I think, should have probably won last year. I think the T Wolves should win this year. I know they didn't have the best regular season, but when it comes to roster, I think they're solid. I don't think I I say we win in 5 against the Warriors. I mean, I know the game's on right now, but um, if Gobert and Randall step up, the Warriors have nothing to deal with the size at all. And Edwards will do his thing. What do we get out of DiVincenzo? We'll see.
DiVincenzo had a great series versus Lakers.
McDaniel will be a big defensive guy on Steph probably this series, so I probably won't expect as much on offense just because of the extra defense.
Steph running
Probably
them out. Yeah.
the Wolves are fun to watch again. They
Yeah.
really are since the Kevin Garnett days.
Yeah. Dixon, how your potential Western Conference champion? What did you see from them?
The Lake Show, man. Their season was ruined. The second they turned back the Mark Williams trade.
Mm.
The center coming out of, the Hornets, double guy, exactly what they needed. Hesitated for whatever reason, rejected the physical.
That was from the Lakers
rejected the
side?
trade. That was from the Lakers side.
Oh, okay.
He worked out for the Lakers and, up to their standards, quote unquote, he failed the physical, but
Oh,
that
okay.
just means, we didn't want him. Something we saw, whatever the reason was, but he went on
Hey,
to.
you're using a little too much we when you're talking about the Lakers.
I'm wherever LeBron go. Come on, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
From that point, you knew that from within, they didn't think that they had a chance to win this year. They were building for the future. But then we saw the stretch that they won. They went on, toward the end of the season, looking like one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah. Shit, we had them both top 5.
Yeah, for sure. I think this Luka defense thing is really an issue. Like more of an issue than we've seen with other superstars who have had bad defense, like Steph Curry, other players that have had Joker, who, are challenged defensively, but this is actually an issue. Yo, my man was getting blown by 90% of the time.
Yeah. He was.
Like blown by. Like I'm not talking about like 1-2 crossovers. The guy did a spin move. No, he just went by him.
Yeah, it was bad. And they would have him guarding the center.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
They was trying to hide him on defense. Yeah.
It was really bad to the point where it's become a liability. So, I think Nico Harrison could sleep a little better at night. I mean, he obviously still did that, but I think he's a little bit more proven because, man, I think that actually became a liability. And, you really saw the lack of depth that they had,
That's what killed them is that they had 5 players that could play. Literally.
Exactly. And I think, JJ Redick showed his rookie tendencies. I didn't think he coached the greatest. You can't leave a 40-year-old. You can't leave an out of shape Luka in the whole second half. Can't happen. You got to give him at least some type of rest. You got to give him at least some of the rest. You got to at least let some of the guys, at least try to prove their worth. You got to at least give them a chance. But man, it's crazy. Shannon Sharp was talking all that shit, talking about Ant-Man, Batman, Superman. In the end, T-Wolves in 5.
It'll be interesting to see where that goes, but not to dwell on that too much. Knicks and Pistons, they won 4-3, Game 7. That step back by Brunson is going to be an all-time Knick highlight.
Historic.
That shit was – those games were so fun. I will not lie. It was a great series, and I was really impressed with Pistons. New York was supposed to win that series. It wasn't supposed to be this hard, but it was. Detroit has a good future. I feel.
Detroit showed you, yeah. They're gonna
Yeah.
be one of the teams.
They
up
sold
and
me on
coming.
them.
Yeah. They've definitely put themselves on the watch for next year. Yeah, people are like, we see you.
And
Yeah,
that
for sure.
Jalen Brunson, and that's on a good defender right there, Thompson twin. That ain't
Mhm.
just a regular person. He did
Yeah.
that to. He did that to one of the most athletic people in the league. Too cold.
I will say, in the middle of the series, Moorehand, the Brunson foul shit was out of control. It was out of control. It was too
Yeah,
much.
yeah. He used to getting those calls, but this is the playoffs, baby. They're letting him play.
No, but this was like it seemed like their play was get fouled on the 3-point line somehow,
Mhm.
and he's like, "All right, bet. I'll try my best."
For
Going
sure.
to the next one, Warriors and Rockets. Rockets lost in game
Another game
7.
7 series.
4-3 Warriors. Man, what did you think about this series?
I had the Warriors, I'm not surprised that it went 7 because I thought it was two pretty evenly skilled teams, but I think what separated the Warriors was that experience. And, playoff Jimmy's still a thing, still
Yeah, for
doing
sure.
it. Man, averages like 10 more points in the playoffs than regular season. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's really won it for them. And Jalen Green, my boy,
Mm.
what happened? You can't go single digit 3 out of the 7 games, man. Single digit and you that talented and you got that baby mama? Nah, you tripping. Nah, you tripping, man. You can't do that. So I'm really disappointed by him. Opposite of Kay Cunningham. Kay Cunningham shows you superstar in the making, but Jalen Green, I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah, I think that's the issue with the Rockets. There's not consistent play out of him, and it showed in this series. Like they didn't have that closer in those close games. They
Yeah,
just
so
didn't have.
Şengün did him,
Yeah,
all-star every year from this point out, but they definitely need like that closer, that second piece.
they need that closer, and let's
Yeah.
hope Jalen Green can be that guy. He's got the experience. He's proven like he's a good player. Crazy athleticism, great scorer, decent on defense. Like just make that jump. Rockets will be good because that's one of the teams I could see making a big trade for the future because they got plenty of
They
guys.
have so many
They
pieces,
have
pieces
plenty
that
of
don't
guys.
even play.
Right. So they have the guys. That's what kind of business you want to be in. You know, Houston's culture seems to be legit. They just ran into
That's
Steph
where
Curry. That's what it
that's where I
was.
think Dixon hit the nail on the head. That series to me was the classic playoff experience. Won the series.
For sure.
Houston to me had a better roster, top to bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh
Younger,
yeah.
more athletic. They just didn't have that experience at the times that they needed somebody to step up and make that play. It's
And it
almost
just
like it. I was like, wow, I was shocked. I was shocked that Houston lost that series. Honestly, I was like, oh, Game 7, Houston's going to take it. Şengün, man, like you said, like that kid is, I mean, amazing. Everything.
what's his nickname? The Turkish
22 years old, man. Like it's
Baby
insane.
Joker.
Yeah, baby Joker, just a little bit of a different.
Turkish
He
Joker.
he seems to play a little smaller though for
Sometimes
his
I feel like he
size.
should play more big. Yeah.
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 Whereas Joker, he plays his size and he bangs around like Sengun. Sometimes you're like, man, are you a small forward or are you a center? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But clearly, experience all day. That's really what it was to me.
Well, going back to what you said, like they don't have a closer. Oh, I said it too, but they didn't have a closer, and it just happens the Warriors have two of the best closers. That's why they won
Yeah,
the series.
for sure.
And don't forget, Jimmy. We missed a game and a half of Jimmy, so should be interesting. Going to the next game, Clippers Nuggets Game 7. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets won 4-3. We
Damn,
both
3 of
got
the
proved wrong.
series came down to 7 games in the first round. That's crazy.
We both were wrong about this one, Dixon. We both had Clippers in 7, but we forgot something.
I
There's a
should have
man.
known.
There's a man by James Harden on
I
there.
should have fucking known, bro.
Not
Hey,
only
never fails to happen, bro.
not only
Yeah.
did Jalen Green score single digits, James Harden, MVP James Harden,
9
had
points.
single digits
He
in
had
an
9 points, right?
elimination
Again.
game.
in an elimination game again.
That was a great
Highly
series.
emphasize that word again.
Again, 7 times again, 8 times again. That's the track record is, I mean, blatant.
Not a coincidence. It's a
And it's like
trend.
we
It's a
said, if
pattern.
someone tells you who they are, Dixon, believe them. My man will
God
not
damn
show up
it.
for you at the
And I
end.
forgot, I was so caught up in the new building, the new logo. Zubac was doing his thing. Norman Powell was doing his thing. Kawhi
But
for a
why?
game here and there was doing his thing. I forgot they had James Harden. If it came down to a close series, that team who has him is gonna lose most likely.
Now he did have, to give him credit, he did have 2.5, 3.5 good games. But this is a 7-game series, my boy.
And the way that he was really balling in the regular season, the second half of the year, like he was going 25 and 10 every night. So just the difference between that to this, his numbers go down all across the board in the playoffs. It's it sucks to see. And even Kawhi, I'm not gonna give you Bill. You had one great game, but you're supposed to have a great series. You're supposed to, overcome the whole Denver thing. But I thought he definitely showed a lot. And man, did Denver
They
if
did their
Jokic gonna
thing.
give you, bro, if Jokic gonna give you over 35 and 14 every night, he single-handedly could just beat you every time.
Well, not only that, the biggest thing with this, I think fucking Jamal Murray came out of the woodworks. Like that Jamal Murray
Playoff Jamal showed up to the party.
came up. When he had that scoring. MPJ like came up. Brown came up. It's like, oh
Aaron
shit,
Gordon.
now y'all are back.
Gordon. Well,
You're back. Like they need those
Gordon with
guys to
that game
step
winner
up.
and dunk.
The game, the play before that for Joker to hit that turnaround fadeaway three on two guys, splash it, then go back down the court, do the same exact shot, airball it, and Aaron Gordon to dunk it in to win the game. Get the fuck out of here.
yo, it's so crazy because Jokic gets it done and then it's not pretty. It's
It's
so
not.
like you're like
No, you know
what?
what? It's beautiful basketball. It's everybody's involved. It's lumpy white guy basketball. Fucking love it, dude.
I'm
He's
Bro,
taller
my
than
the
you.
man.
I'm not gonna jump. I'm just gonna shoot it over you because I can. Like it goes in.
Fadeaway
It,
three to out of bounds.
bro, my
Splashes it.
homie, my homie that plays ball, he hit me up like concerned one day. He's like, "Yo, I don't get how Joker does it. Like, what is it? Can you explain it to me?" I just told him, "Yo, I think he's top 3 strongest player in the league. Like, ain't nobody really bumping with him. So I think he's physically imposing his will, even though it doesn't look like it.
yeah,
He's physically imposing his will on these guys, and then the
it's in,
skill is just out of this world."
it's
Hell yeah.
insane. His skill with the ball in his hands and like his handles is it's impressive. Like his hand strength, but like go to the basketball court and shoot the ball over your head, like with precision. Like that's not easy to do. Like
Not at all.
it's insane. It's wild. It's nuts. The guy is on a different level. Speaking of Kawhi Leonard, like he's like besides Anthony Edwards, like Kawhi Leonard is like the most um
Fundamental.
what's fundamental player I think I've ever seen. Like
For
even his
sure.
elbow so straight up and down, free throws. Even when he shoots like
Robotic.
that
Laser
15
beam
foot,
shot.
yeah, those elbow jumpers. It's just so
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. And you're like, what is going on? Like he's strong, he's a stud, but um the Nuggets got it done. I wasn't surprised.
Last but not least, our Miami Heat get dismantled by the Cavs. This will be the series that breaks everything up, I hope. Heat lost in 4. Cavs kicked ass in 4.
Fucking
Heat
belt to ass, bro.
Cavs just had
I'm talking about historic ass whooping, Tyler.
yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Like
It
history
was
book
terrible.
ass whooping.
Not only are you going home for the year, you're going home with a hurt ass.
Be-
That was bad. But
They just didn't have enough scoring. They
honestly,
didn't have enough anything, and it was
were you
just
guys
the Heat weren't a
surprised
playoff team. That's what it was.
when the Heat barely got in by play-ins? But like, were you surprised that they lost the series?
No, after game 1 and 2, there was just so much like they can stay in it, and then Cleveland would just turn the waterfall on, and they're gone. There's just no Tyler Hero had to do so much, and he was hunted so much on defense. Bam doesn't. He's not an aggressive scorer, and then it was like, "Yo, Wiggins, are you showing up tonight?" It was
Mm.
just never gonna happen. It
Yeah,
was never.
the
Even
Heat
if Jimmy
relied
was
too
playing,
much.
we would have lost probably in 6 if we were lucky, to be honest.
Okay, that's respect. But Tyler, let me ask you. And during the season, I said we shouldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think we should make the
We weren't a
playoffs. I
playoff
think we
team.
should stay out of the playoffs, try to get a high draft pick next year.
Yeah.
Now that we made the playoffs and this happened, this was the worst case scenario for me.
Yeah.
Like this kind of exposure and this type of highlight to people are really gonna say, oh shit, what's really happening in Miami? And now people are really gonna start put together, all the first round exits, all the lack of talent, the management. Now this just puts a brighter spotlight on what's wrong with the Miami Heat, not as a team, as an organization. Did you think that? Do you think that now that the worst thing was making it to the playoffs and getting destroyed like this?
I would rather have not have to like you said, get a higher draft pick, higher percentage for a lottery pick. But I think this could be a blessing in disguise as a Heat fan, because I think this is going to force a change.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
this is going to be like, it's not going to be like 2022, 2023. Like, oh, we made it. Do we
Where we
do anything? No.
overachieved.
Let's
Right.
run it back. Let's, Caleb Martin, he got paid somewhere else. Let's try to fill his role. It was like, no, like we need more help. Let's go get Donovan. No, Cleveland gets him first. Let's get another player. No, he went somewhere else. So now
Yo,
I think it's a roster. I will I'll be kind of shocked, and I don't want this to happen because I do think they are championship type players. They just can't be a 1 or 2. I'll be shocked if Hero and Bam are on the team next year together.
really?
I think at least one of them is a trade piece or a move piece, because Hero already said like he wants the bag. He's coming up. Now I don't think it's next year, but the year after, it's going to be like a $50 million price tag. So I'll be and Bam's contract is starting in this year for his new deal. Money
So
always
they have
goes
one more
up.
year together.
They might, but there's going to need to be when you trade somebody, it's one more year because they're going to want to re-sign with that team that trades for them.
Right.
So
I
this
see
is
what
the
you mean.
time that you do deal him. I'll be
Well,
Yo,
surprised if
let
both of them are on the team, but this is going to force a hand to do something. I feel.
I mean,
uh
Giannis to Miami.
well,
Probably
like
not.
James
We won't
said,
have the assets.
Tyler, let me tell you some of the names that are gonna be available this offseason. I'm gonna tell you this now, so when we don't get them, you won't be like, oh shit, I didn't
Like
know, or
free,
I
like
didn't
free
know.
agents or like.
Free agents or via trade.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Shoot,
Like James said, Giannis could be available.
a long shot, I feel.
Zion Williamson could be available. John Morant could be available.
That's a possibility.
KD could be available as well.
Yeah, he already
So
said like he's got out of there, right? Pretty
so
sure.
that's already 4 borderline superstar players. I'm just saying, if Miami were to
Well,
ever finally make a move, I think like this is a last chance type of thing for Pat Riley.
Well, here you
This is
go.
your last chance, buddy.
Is KD still on contract?
yeah,
So there you go. If KD is a liable option, like or a viable option, Hero to the Suns, KD to the Heat.
well, the
Then you
problem
keep
with
a Bam. You don't keep Hero and KD. I don't think.
you,
Facts.
the problem with dealing with the Suns is they've already come out several times saying they want a Malik Bridges type of trade. They want fucking 5 picks for KD
Yeah,
and more. It's just like
Nobody's
they're
doing
gonna
that for
want.
KD.
They're no, no, no.
he's
We
not.
can't.
He's not worth that anymore.
It's
I
unfortunate.
think. I think his value's dropped after the last 2 years. Personally, I don't think
For
anybody
sure.
will. I don't think anybody will entertain 5 picks for him.
And
No
the way
way.
he's blown up franchises and done all that, hell no.
You know.
Yeah, that's it's yeah.
It'll
So
be interesting for sure. The Heat definitely need to do something because they're too thin, way too thin.
yeah,
Tyler,
Yeah,
could you imagine John Morant in Miami?
yo,
You
I
thought
will
the streets
say
weren't. Hey, you thought the streets weren't safe. Now,
I would be open to it. I think strategically,
Woo-hoo.
the way the Grizz played, to me, I felt like Josh should have had the ball more because I felt like he played well. He shot 50%, around 50%.
Underutilized.
He was underutilized, and that was like kind of head scratching for me going forward to the future of them. Like, is he
A
not
lot of
in their
politics.
plans? Is
A
he
lot of
not?
politics at play for sure.
It's just a weird situation. So I would be willing to give up. I would be willing to do that because I think
Yo,
he's that type of player.
you imagine you talk about Zach Wilson with the MILFs. You imagine Zion Williamson with the BBLs in
Oh
Miami?
my god.
Man,
Yo, Zion would go crazy, bro.
Oh man.
That man would have more baby
hey,
mamas than
he
Tyreek.
would never come back. He would never come back to play ball. He'd be
More
like, "Oh,
baby
I'm
mamas
hurt
than
again.
Anthony Edwards.
He would
I'm
get
hurt
injured
again."
off rip.
All right, man. Going into round two, we had the Celtics and Knicks game one last night. Celtics lost. Knicks won on a pretty much a game winner. Um, where do you think this series goes, Dixon? We got a taste of it last night, but game one's game one. Game two is a whole different ballpark.
Jalen Brunson, Homer Simpson, Luna Dixon. Celtics in 5.
Celtics are sweeping it now,
Hey, Celtics are
Hey,
not gonna miss 45 threes again, bro.
fam, they missed a record amount of threes and still went to overtime. So if they just, clean it up a little bit, they'll
huh?
be all right. They
I
they
had
were up by 20 in the game too.
I really
I
wanted Tatum to
Jalen.
drive more. He was shooting the three way too
I don't
much.
know. He was
Get in
weird.
there. He was like so timid, but like
It was weird.
overconfident at the same time. I don't know.
Jalen Brown, point 0.5 over under on 3-pointers made. I took the over and I missed.
Damn.
Come on, man.
That seemed
Jalen
like an
Brown.
easy bet.
Come on. That's like money in the bank, right?
Hey, if
Yeah, for
Porzingis
sure.
didn't play either, I mean, to me, I don't think it goes 5. I think it goes 6. Celtics in 6. I think Knicks had to win that game last night. That was the
For
only
sure.
way they were gonna stay in this
It definitely shocked the world with that.
in this race. And
it's different when you come back from 20. It's a different type of moral defeat
yeah.
or victory.
And they just got done with the game 7. That's for them to go to that 3 days later and after last night.
But I'm
Kudos
not
to them.
hesitating too much because the Celtics they've been losing at home in the playoffs for since Tatum's been there. Really,
Yeah.
like this is a known thing for them. So I'm not hesitating too much.
It was a statement game by the Knicks for sure. It'll go 6-7. I think Boston's the better team for sure. There you go. We
Yeah.
talked before. Boston and Cleveland are by far the two best teams in the East.
Their shooting on that run was like some of the best shooting in the playoffs from them to come back from 20. Everybody was hitting. They had the biggest run when Brunson was on the bench. Brunson closed it out. Next series is Indiana and Cleveland. They also played last night. Indiana took game 1. They did the same thing the Knicks did. And I think the Cavs played underwhelming, just like the Celtics did. What'd you see in that series, Dixon?
I think this one's a little more concerning than the Celtics one.
Yeah.
I think this Cavs one, they got a little bit exposed, I would say. And then for game 2, Garland, Mobley, and then someone else I think are all out.
Oof.
I think they're probably done by that game by now. So we'll see who won. But yeah, I'm a little bit more worried about Cleveland. I think we're gonna start to see some of the liabilities of them right now.
Yeah.
And I think Indiana's playing with a lot of confidence. And I think they're on a pretty good roll right now.
A lot of confidence, and they just finished a series where they had to have all the dog in them. They had to play at a high level. And Celtics, I think, just got punched in the mouth. They just shit. That they impressed me last night. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the series going at least
Cleveland
6.
took it. Cleveland tied it up. Cleveland took the game tonight, so it's 1-1 now. The series.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
But
And they did that without those pieces.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So, I think of any team in the playoffs this year that is potentially like that low key scary is the Indiana Pacers. Like I think they're the one team playing with house money because there's nothing to lose. Like nobody's expecting them to do anything, right?
Yeah.
They keep getting shade, keep getting shade. Um, Halliburton is a weird player to me. It's his shot is super funky, super crazy, but he finds a way to get it. He finds a way to it's wild. Um, and he's a baller, but I think the Cavs are still going to win the series personally, even with some of the guys out. But Indiana definitely has some talent on that roster, though. If
Yeah.
Siakam is when he's on, he's that 18 to 20 foot jumper.
Yeah,
Good
for sure.
defense. Like he's good passer. Gets the spreads the pass the ball to the middle. He can kick it back out, or he hits the jumper. Like they're a good team when they're on for sure.
Yeah, I think Cleveland I'm glad they won tonight, but game one, they just underplayed and just didn't play well at all.
Yeah.
Going into the third game, we got the Thunder and the Nuggets. Game one also happened last night, and the Nuggets took game one against the Thunder. So, in my surprise, Dixon, what did you see in this series? Or what do you see?
Battle of the MVPs. SGA
Yeah.
versus Jokic. This is storybook type of series. You couldn't have drawn it up better. They both had phenomenal games. Aaron Gordon came up clutch again. Game 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Westbrook. He pushed the ball in that situation. He gave him the wide open shot. So I want to give him a lot of credit for that.
Man, when it comes to
Playmaking.
Westbrook, you can live or die by him, man.
Live or die by him.
He's
And,
a terrifying player.
But
to
I think
watch.
now that the difference with him is he's becoming a little bit more self-aware. He
Think
doesn't
so?
think that he's something that he's not. I think now he's just said it in one of the post-game interviews, like, I know what it is with me. You're gonna get
I hear him
you're
on
gonna
that.
get this and you're gonna get that. So I think once you accept it, you could kind of learn how to play with it and play around it and stuff. But man, I think this is gonna be a tough series, but I still got the Thunder. They were up for most of this game.
Me too, yeah.
But they can't play around too much because I think Clippers played around a little bit with the Nuggets and they got sent home. But I think the Thunder got to really get to it because they could fuck around and lose.
6 or 7.
I feel 7, fam.
I'm saying 7 too, man. Yeah.
I'm feeling
This
7.
is definitely a 7 game series with the power on both teams, like, and they're pretty well matched. I think this kind of comes down like to a Warriors team. Nuggets have that experience, and I think that gives them a little bit of an edge, having that experience. And the Nuggets are wild to me because you're going to get it from Jokic. Murray's been up and down, but when Murray and Jokic are rolling, man, like they are the tandem that is probably the hardest to stop.
Sure.
Especially when Murray's shooting the ball well too. But Porter is the wild card. He was going off game one, crazy. And then Gordon is that fire right now that they just like how do you lose when the guy's playing like that? He's all the energy, also scoring points. Defense is out of control, blocking shots, flying all over the place. I think the Thunders, they're great, but to me, it's going to come down to the experience. I think at the end of the day, look at Westbrook. It's funny. He's got to be living the dream. He just beat the Clippers, his old team. About to maybe beat the Thunder, his old team. Thunder, he used to be going triple doubles all day long as a Thunder player. And now he's a role player, right? Like you said, now he understands who he is. Think of that.
Oh,
man in the NBA to being a role player. Isn't that crazy? The evolution.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you, and I understand the experience thing with the Thunder, but the Thunder, we've been saying that 3 years for them. This is Shea's MVP season, probably. This has got to be the year that a lot of these drafts, these tanking, everything they've been doing the last couple of years. This has got to be the year that it pays off. If not this year, got to be the next year or two. So I don't know.
Got like what 10 more first round picks in the tuck.
Shit, but you can accumulate so much talent. But what it always comes down to, and This is a historic thing. When you win a championship, you usually have a historic player on your team. Now SGA is that, but we've talked about this countless times. You can't just win with one. You
No,
can't. You can't.
No, I see what you're saying. If they were gonna do it, this would be, one of the best opportunities they have because they were
Yeah.
clear
yeah,
cut best team all year, one of
Yeah.
the best
healthy
records of all
Holmgren.
time, MVP, healthy Holmgren. I think you're right. I think they need to, realize that and
I
actually
think we
go
can't
for it.
say that again. We can't say this next year about them. Because what team do we do that with? We complimented the Rockets because this is the first year that they showed that they had some balls and that they're building something for the future. The way I look at the Thunder is like how the Rockets are. This is the first year. They're in the fourth year of that. This is what they should be doing, winning. They have the MVP. They should be in the at minimum a game 6, game 7 in the Western Conference for what they did all year and what they have on their roster. At minimum, they should be
Yeah.
grabbing for the trophy. Last series, we have the Wolves and Warriors. They have not played yet.
They are right now.
They are right now, yes.
Wolves are getting their ass whooped.
Okay, it's a long series. Dixon.
Steph Curry's out for the game.
Oh, Steph got
Whoa.
hurt. That changes everything, to be honest. Because this could be a shellacking if this is a long term thing. But Dixon, what do you think about going into the series?
Man, this is tough for me because Warriors historically they're great in the playoffs. Anytime they're in the playoffs, they're super dangerous and they got Jimmy now. But like Tyler, you were saying, with Anthony Edwards, you saw something legendary. You saw something different. What do they call him now? The Kingslayer. He slayed
Oh,
KD last year.
that's a cool.
He sweep KD actually, and Booker. People sleep on Booker. That's low key,
Yeah.
a great. Took out Luca and LeBron. Now has a chance to take out Steph and Jimmy and Draymond. I think he's up for it. I truly think he's up for it. And the T Wolves, like James said, they've been playing great team ball, all around ball. Their defense hounds people, and then when they shoot, well, they're pretty hard to beat. But I think it'll be a tough series. I got at least going 6, but
I think the
I
Wolves.
got the T Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Definitely a tough series with the experience of the Warriors. It's funny they got halftime on right now, and they're showing Anthony Edwards in the first half has 1 point. Jimmy Butler has 6 points. The number one scorer in the game, Draymond Green, 16 points in the first half. He has
Holy
two three
crap.
pointers.
that's
Two
probably
three
most
pointers.
points he's had all
Draymond
year.
turning the clock back.
So my thing is, and I'm not shocked at this because having the rest is great, but I also don't like having those extra days off. I think for some of these professional athletes because you get complacent, right? From a team that just come off a series, high, winning, you're ready to go. You had a team that's been sitting around now for a few days trying to get it back going again. Um, this is typical. I think the Wolves will figure it out. Yeah, I think they're down by like 10 to 15 points right now in the first half. I haven't seen
Hey,
the score
10-15
recently,
is
but
nothing in the NBA, man. It's 5
no.
possessions. It's crazy.
And with Steph not coming
Right.
back, they said he's
Crazy.
not coming back in the game. He strained his calf or his quad.
Oh
So
shit.
that'll be interesting to see how severe that is. But there's just no way Draymond Green is going to sustainably or continuously be the leading scorer for them to win the series. It's just not going to happen. He's coming out on fire right now, but
His team needs
it,
it.
it'll
His team definitely needs it.
Yo,
it'll
he's been
probably
on
still go
one.
6.
Yeah, I've been loving. I
Hey,
mean,
Draymond, to me, Draymond right now has been playing better than he's played in the last few years. Like he's
Yeah, for
really
sure.
turned it up. He's
I
really turned it
think
back.
I think you're right. I don't know if you saw the clip where he said to Steph, say, "Hey, this is the last run. Like this is it."
Wow.
I think he's taking it to another
Yeah.
level. I could deal without his fucking flailing, but man, Draymond plays with energy like no other in the league, and we gotta watch that shit now because It's not gonna be for much longer. He's gonna start
No,
to
you're
break.
right.
Body might not let him.
But I think they've done so much. Like,
Yeah,
what more can you really do? I think he
yeah.
can
He's
go on
given
at such
everything. Yeah,
yeah.
he's given
Hall
everything.
of Famer. Hall of Famer for sure.
Easy Hall of Famer. Part of one of the best teams of all time.
Yeah.
Anything you guys got left on the NFL or the NBA before we go into our last topics?
Yo, Pacers won, by the way, 120 to 119. So they up 2-0.
Did they really?
Wow.
Did
Yeah, I
they
heard it was a
really?
crazy ending, like super crazy ending. So we got to see what
Wow.
happened.
Yeah,
Oh
damn.
my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy.
All
I
right,
could have
anything
swore
else?
when I turned. Yeah.
Shit. Nah, man.
All right, but man,
That was a
going into
lot.
a couple topics that have gone either viral or happened in the last couple days on the internet's number one thing: 100 man versus one gorilla. Yes, we are talking about this. Dixon, you go first. 100 guys versus one gorilla.
Let me ask y'all, who y'all got? Who y'all got in the battle? Who
I
you
got the
think wins?
gorilla. The gorilla. Yeah.
Well, I never knew anything. I didn't know anything about this.
So there's a
Um.
huge online
So
debate going on.
yeah.
100, and it comes up like every couple years. 100 men
So is
versus
it?
gorilla. Who wins in a battle to the death? No weapons, nothing.
But is it 100 guys against a gorilla, or do you send one guy at a time?
It's a
Uh,
hundred men at
yeah.
once. However, they want to strategize
No
going about it.
specifications. Yeah.
So it's not like one
Yeah.
guy goes, and if he gets taken down, then the second guy goes, and then
No, no, they
it can
could
be
go come
100
in
at one
waves
time.
of 5, waves of 20.
Oh, I got the 100 men then.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's just no way.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah, it's
If
way too
you
many.
punched a gorilla, he would not even know you're there.
I just been loving to see like the banter back and forth. People said like you say that, but when you see the toughest person out of that 100 punch that gorilla in his face with all his might, and the gorilla looks around like a fly was just on him, you're gonna start panicking a little
But when
different.
that gorilla punches that same guy in the face, he will die. His face will be inside.
Or, or if you have like me as one of the 100 men, I just go to the front of the grid and go, and the other guys go behind him and just choke him out.
I think
Right,
the
just trip him
first
out.
20, 25, it's easy.
Oh, the first 2025, y'all just sacrificial. I'm
Now, just bump,
sorry.
bump, bump, bump. Now, would it
Y'all
take a
just
little
the
bit?
warm up.
Yeah. But the gorilla would have to be fucking furious, right? These guys would have to be on Molly or something, like no feeling, no fear.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
fam, let me tell you this, bro. Give me 20 of the toughest kids that I grew up with. We getting that gorilla the fuck out of here.
Nah, you tripping. I'm telling you right
We
now.
packing that
This
gorilla the
gorilla can
fuck.
flip a
Give me
car with ease.
20 of the
You're talking about,
hardest.
let me grab my
Give me
homeboy?
20
No.
of the hardest homeboys I grew up with. We getting that gorilla out of here, fam.
No, I think the gorilla wins. I
A
think he
hundred, a
tires out
hundred
of
guys
being
is too many.
A
100
hundred's
people
too
is a
many, yo.
lot.
Because no, I've actually researched this more than I should have, and they say that yes, the gorilla is gonna destroy the first 10, 20 men, but the gorilla is gonna get tired. The gorilla doesn't have unlimited stamina. He's gonna get tired, and then obviously humans can strategize and think of different strategies to attack the gorilla, which the gorilla is not gonna strategize anything. He's just going
Yeah.
off brute strength,
instinct. Yeah,
anger, so that's why they say the 100 guys. But it's been a hilarious conversation on that.
I mean, it's crazy. Even if you took 20 guys for one leg, 20 guys for another leg, 20 guys for one arm, 20 guys for another arm, that's 80. You still got 20 guys now to possibly choke out or do something else. Like, 100 people, that's just, there's no way that gorilla, I think the gorilla would be overwhelmed.
Right.
probably to choke out a gorilla, you would have to have the biggest arms to get around his neck. So now you're like making a choke hold with the gorilla when one guy is gonna have his face in the gorilla's mouth.
What happened?
He froze up.
Yeah, he did.
Yep, stuck.
I think it was the gorilla.
James said the gorilla got to you.
Ah! Okay, next topic.
Yes, sir.
So 2-1 on the gorilla shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next topic. Uh, Now Dixon, you got to put me on this because I didn't really follow it. I heard about it, but not really. The Shannon Sharp incident.
hmm
I'm not even gonna ask or guess. Like, just what's going on with your boy Shannon?
So Shannon Sharp, Unk, has been accused of some nasty things. Accused of rape, actually. Yes, sir. Whole lawsuit filed by a girl that he was dating, that he was seeing. Uh the problem is obviously the accusation, the act, all that. When you start to look deeper into who the girl is, the relationship, Shannon is about like 56, 54 to 56. She's like 2021.
Okay.
So that right there, red flag. What you doing messing around with a girl 40 years younger than 30 years younger than you? And
Okay.
you have the resources to find whoever, you have your pick of the litter and you purposely choose to go after that. Um OnlyFans girl.
Oh, this is another girl or the same girl?
No, same girl. She's an
Okay.
OnlyFans girl. Um, Another red flag, I would say.
That's the biggest
And
one.
then
Far. Yeah.
we know when that lawsuit first came out, they both released like quote unquote proof on both ends. And just the way they were
Oh,
talking, yeah, their type of conversation was weird. They were on some like freaky shit, weird shit, like almost like some racy type like dominance, like black versus white thing. It was weird. I don't know. She kept saying like she wanted him to give her like a big black baby.
oh.
She's like Spanish or white or something. Um so the whole thing was just fucked up. The whole thing was just weird, but it does seem like Shannon was doing some weird shit at this point. He did offer to settle at 10 mil. That's not a good thing to see either. That's normally, a sign of guilty, sign of that you just want to cover it. But he offered 10 mil. She said no. She's going after like 50 mil or something. The worst part about this, not the worst part, but the crazy thing about this is Shannon was in negotiation deals before all this came up.
Oh yeah.
And he was expected to get a huge bag, like 50 to 100 M's for, all of his shows that he has and stuff. Then this came out. What's the play with that? Could be, double agent thing, could be, the company trying to lower or diminish his value. Who knows? But the timing was pretty crazy as well. Um, then people started rehashing and like there's been other occurrences with Shannon Sharp, not this exact thing, but similar things have kind of gotten swept under the rug in the past, even with his time at like NBC, his time with Fox, different, incidents with him. So I don't know. ESPN dropped him too. He's still doing his nightcap. He's still doing his independent things, but it's not really hitting the same. It's hard for me to actually even see it. But it's crazy, man. Just seems like Uncle Shay Shay's cooked. I don't
So
know
you think he's done? Like, I know you're an avid listener of him. So like,
for sure.
what's your
I
view
don't.
on him now? Like,
I don't know if he's
what's
the
your view? Not like the internet's perception.
what
Like,
happened.
what's your view?
I don't know if he's done because he has a lot of like ownership on a lot of the shows that he has and he's created, but it's definitely gonna be hard to overcome this because, like I said, it does seem like he's guilty of some of the accusations. So, and this is just shows you like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you talking to this girl? Why
Horny
are
old man
like,
shit. Yeah.
yes, that's exactly what it
My
looks
man,
like.
horny as fuck. Them roids ain't kicking it all. I need more. I need more of that shit. And I got a lot of money. Damn, that's crazy.
That's the sad part. I think that's where it's at. It's
That's crazy.
he's gotten away with it probably for so long.
Mm,
I still think there's level of wrongdoing on her end too. I think, and
things that she's probably provoked as well. But
for sure.
Dixon, you obviously know probably, or if you've looked into it a lot more than I have. I've only seen it from the far outside. But the one thing that's kind of weird to me is the lawyer that's representing her
Yeah,
seems to be a lawyer that has gone after a ton of different athletes and people with
yeah,
money
it's kind of
just for
janky
almost like extortion type stuff. And
for
it's like
sure.
just knowing how the systems play out now, it's it's becoming like too common for things like these to come up, and it's like at what point are these guys going to get smart and start understanding like the ramifications of who you're dealing with, you know? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, James, great point. And that's the other side to this, Tyler. Like, she baited him. This was
Yeah.
calculated.
Oh
Like,
shit.
like she drew the line very thin
She Donald
between
Sterling'd him.
she drew the line very thin between what is a sexual play and what is dominating and, taking over what my actions are and everything. So she already had this type of relationship with him where you could be dominant and assertive in a sexual consensive way. And, one of the times, because I learned a lot. So they say, a girl can give you consent 99 times. That 100th time, if she says she doesn't want to have sex with you and you do it, that's rape. So that is a play here. And like James said, the lawyer she hired, Bugsby, he usually does like janky things like this where he'll try to exploit an athlete or try to exploit, rapper celebrities. So it looks nasty on Shannon's part because it's like his selection of women, how he's talking or how he's moving. But on her side, she don't look innocent either in this.
So she was just plotting and recording shit and ready to get
Yes.
his ass.
Yes. And he was out there like a fool, ready to be got.
Man, so
Yeah.
I thought about this today. When it comes to like people's sexual behavior, we judge them off of that, right? And there's a line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Louis C.K., right? Yeah, he liked to jack off in front of girls, right? But that's what he's into, right? This Shannon Sharp shit is a different monster. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you're like getting exploited for rape, for doing some real foul shit, like it's a different ballpark, and that's crazy because I feel like Shannon was even after Fox, I feel like he was on the uprise doing his own thing,
He
and then
was.
and then went to ESPN and had a lot of great interviews, had a lot of great moments, really dominating the airwaves when it came to one
Probably
of
the
these
number one
guys. And
sports
man,
media personality at the time.
hopefully this fall, hopefully, I mean, from the sound of what you're telling me, it ain't gonna end good. But I don't see a winning situation from him. What you're telling me, yeah,
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
the sad part for me is like, will he ever come back? Whatever it is, like, how do you, regardless of the outcome, how do you come back? Like Shannon was one of those few that spoke a free mind, right? He didn't really care what he said and who he pissed off or whatever, because he felt like he pretty much created a career in a persona for himself that was pretty respected, um, as a player, but also in the sports world when it came to commentating. But if you were to try to go back to what you did, how do you not go back now and be more calculated and, or like almost overthink your speech now because God forbid you say another thing the wrong way, and here we go again. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
before he could speak so free and not have a care in the world. Now all of a sudden it's almost like he's gonna sit there and probably overthink everything that he says now. I don't know. It's kind of like Justin Tucker. Once it gets too deep, too thick, how do you come back from it, regardless of what the outcome is? Because everybody's already got the perception of who you are.
Right. Once the public perception goes, it's hard.
Speaking of public perception, last thing we're going to talk about, Bill Belichick looks a lot different these days in the UNC streets because he's got his partner in crime, Jordan, the 24-year-old girlfriend. Yes, 24-year-old girlfriend.
And my man's like, what, 70?
72, 73? Man, I can't believe this. This shit doesn't seem real to me. But when you see the clips,
Hmm.
when you read the things, you're like, what? How is this happening? And Bill's just like, yeah, do your thing, girl.
Bro.
Do your thing. When he didn't know that, like those pictures of him were on the internet, that shit was funny. That was funny. That was
That
like, yo,
man is oblivious.
you're an old man for real. Like,
I mean, bro, you're saying how it's happening. Come on, bro. She just putting that thing on him.
I
She
mean,
got him
yeah,
twirling
that's
around his finger.
that's.
Bro, she's showing him things that he hasn't seen in 40 years. She giving him experiences that he ain't never experienced. You see Bill Belichick smiling more now than he won when he won all the Super Bowls.
This Bill Belichick's making me miss last year's Bill Belichick's when he was on podcasts and talking shit on about the Jets. Like I was like, where'd this guy go? Nah, my
But
man's just another horny old man just banging a 24-year-old.
yo, and I heard she also came from OnlyFans.
Woo!
So
Oh
like,
man,
bro, this is the new move, Tyler. James,
He's
this is the
never
new
been on the
move.
internet.
Bro, this is the new female move. You gotta catch a lick. One of these old retired coaches, whatever, players, and you know, have this situation. This is like a sugar daddy right here.
this
Let's just
is
call it what it is.
this is the weirdest sugar daddy situation I think I've ever like come across because, like Tyler said, it shit don't seem real. Like you go from one of the hardest, most pompous ass coaches in the NFL
Right.
that are running your practices, running your team, to like how do you take a guy serious when he shows up with his 24-year-old girlfriend?
And she's
Like
the one running shit.
That's
like
the weird thing
like
though. Like
what happened to this guy?
if
Like
he's got a piece of candy on his arm is one thing, but when she's running shit
Right.
on the field in
When
his
she
domain.
when she's off camera in the interview and controlling the interview,
Now I'm sure PR people do that at one point, but this
P-
is
PR people for sure.
right. This is your 24-year-old girlfriend.
And
this
yo,
is crazy.
I've heard a lot of shit. I've heard, she's been able to expand her real estate portfolio
That was the biggest.
to
She
be
Like,
got on a
around
what
eight
Dunkin'
the
Donuts
fuck?
million.
commercial.
So
How
we
much?
see the play to be around 8 million now. So we see the play. We know what's going on. I don't know.
It's
I've heard people like modern people like defending her, saying like, "Go get it, girl." To me,
Don't get
it's
it,
still taking
girl.
advantage. It's still taking advantage of someone. To me, but both ways.
so what's funny. This will be a Mister Documentary over there. This will be the documentary that you'll watch in 30 years, Tyler. When kind of like now they'll remember Hugh Hefner's girlfriends that
Yeah,
he used
now
to
they all
have.
hated him.
They're
Yeah.
they're all starting to come out and talk now, and like one of them now is talking about like the nasty like sexual things that they used to have to do for him and this and that. And
Yeah,
it's like this is like something you're going to hear about from her. Like you said, 70 something years old and she's 24. Like, how can that be
crazy.
fun?
What
I
do
don't
they even
know.
have in
Dude,
common?
she must have started off with "I like him older." Like she must have loved that phrase. It's just she lives by that shit.
Yeah,
She
no,
lives
it's
by it.
crazy. I'm sorry, Bill. Like, you can't tell me to give you 100 push-ups when I know your girl is running shit at home. Like, I can't take a coach. I'm sorry. No, but in all seriousness, it's going to be interesting to see if and how this will affect his career at UNC.
Yeah,
It's already off to a best start.
Hey, what cures everything though? Winning.
winning.
That's it. If he starts winning, it's gonna be who? Either he's losing, it's fucking Bill
Yeah,
Belichick's what's going on.
it's going to be
What's
tough.
going on? I'm gonna try to go to some games this year. 'Cause they're not that expensive, and that would definitely bring me to a couple
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, I got to take advantage for sure.
Yeah. But all right, boys, that's it for the episode. Very long episode, and I appreciate you, James, sticking around. Dixon, this is another great episode of Hits and Hoops. Anything y'all want to add?
Oh, man, that's it. Thanks, James, for coming along. Long
Thank you,
adventure.
fellas.
All right,
Next time.
boys. I'll holler at you. Have a good night. Thanks for listening.